Call the Barker Civic Center Commission meeting to order on November 21st, 10 o'clock.
Where's TJ? TJ needs to.
Oh, we're starting the meeting, y'all. All right.
Okay,
Will you get TJ, Sue? Oh,
first thing we need to do is have approval of the minutes from the October meeting.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
aye.
Thank you. Now the executive director's report.
Does everyone have an agenda? Yes.
Agendas are here.
TJ, here's a little extra report to go with the minutes.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming today, whether you're a volunteer or a Barker family member or a staff person. Thank you for being here and for all that we've accomplished in the past few months as well. In our old business, the only outstanding upkeep project we still have on the building is the door that we had talked about adding in the servants' hallway. And just to bring everyone up to speed, if you're not aware of that project, we're looking to add a door just behind the bathroom so that we can close the hallway off, keep the staff offices secure, but still allow the public to access that bathroom since it is our only handicap accessible bathroom and the only one with a changing table as well. So we've talked quite a bit with the company who's going to do that. However, they're finishing up some projects for Tom McCormick and they can't get to us quite yet. So hopefully after Christmas they're going to be able to do that, and that'll be paid for with city funding. We've done quite a lot this month already, even though the month isn't over. Americo has finished removing the moisture in the basement. Zilkowski poured the alleyway steps that were cracked, and then Jeff Roberts painted the bride's room bathroom and refinished those walls, and all of that was paid with city funds. And I'm going to ask Sherry to lead the next part because it's about the garden, and that's really been her baby for the last few months.
Right. Well, first of all, we can always use volunteers for the garden. Always. But I just prepared, this is more of a list of tasks that were performed since the end of August. As a matter of record keeping, I just thought it would be good for us to know, and for future work in the garden. We began in late August trying to pull things together for some weddings that we had in the garden. And this is what was done. I'll share, you can read the list at your leisure. And then we have also winterized the garden. And I've included all of those particular details about what all goes into winterizing the garden. So you can take a look at all of those. And the tasks were performed by a lot of different people. We had a Workforce One employee who helped. I don't know how many hours a week James was with us, but...
You said 20 hours a week?
20 hours a week, okay. And we had some scheduling snafus with that, so that made it a little bit challenging. We did have two wonderful master gardeners that I found and helped advise us on what to do in pruning roses and those technical things. They were wonderful. We also employ Rent-A-Man for how many hours-ish a week?
About 8 every 2 weeks when things are good.
I know.
We gave them a lot more hours.
There was a lot to do.
Yeah.
There was a lot to do. And then, of course, our Barker Mansion volunteers, our Barker Mansion staff, and by default, me. Anyway, so this is what we've done, and it was a lot in 3 months, but it was really great. And I think that what we'll do is when we get our new executive director, we'll start to do some planning for the spring and what needs to be done, and if we want to make some changes in the garden and additions. So that's it. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jessica, what about the rat?
That's on hold right now.
Okay, that's on hold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are there any questions or comments about the old business section?
Yes.
Okay, moving on to new business. The October monthly report was sent out a couple days ago. Did anyone have questions about that? Next, I just wanted TJ to give us a rundown of everything that's on the calendar for December. As we know, December is usually one of our busiest months, and he's got some old favorites returning and some new ideas too.
Yeah, so at Christmas we've expanded hours, so we'll be open from 11 to 3 for self-guided tours, Tuesday through Sunday, with a guided tour at 1 o'clock each day. Because right now we're just open for the guided tour Tuesday through Friday with the self-guided tours on Sunday. And we've got a lot going on. We've got 2 behind-the-scenes tours on December 6th and 13th. We usually we have the behind-the-scenes tours around the holidays. So at Christmas we talk about the history of Christmas and Queen Victoria during those tours. And then we also have on every Sunday we're gonna have cookie decorating or some sort of craft for kids every Sunday. And I've been working with a few different local musicians. We'll be playing Bill Hallier from the Lighthouse Museum. We'll be playing the organ on the 3rd floor on several days throughout December, and also we'll be having the piano being played. And then new this year, we're gonna have a Christmas tea on December 22nd. So we'll have a tea in this room. We have a lot of tickets sold for that already.
I have a question.
Yes.
Self-guided tours, what kind of security or oversight is given while people are walking through the mansion on their own?
So we usually will have a staff at the front desk, and we usually have, then sometimes we'll have a volunteer walking through the house too at the same time.
Okay.
And it's just the first floor usually.
It's all 3 floors.
All 3.
They used to be the first floor when I first started working here, but those were later expanded to all 3 floors.
So they're shadowed in some fashion.
Yeah, usually if we have enough volunteers there, sometimes there'll be someone upstairs, but a lot of times especially when we're short-staffed right now, many times there'll just be someone at the front desk. But Jessica put signs all over the mansion saying you're monitored by security and alarm in a lot of rooms and things, even in some cases. But yeah, it's usually it's just the staff at the front desk during those.
And when we know we're going to be very, very busy, we have people on each floor. Yeah, which you guys have done a lot.
Yeah.
So we have the glowing lights night on December nights, and which is just the Christmas lights on, and during that we have someone on every floor.
And we sort of follow. Second floor was ours, so we.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, those are a lot of
And
fun.
we'd help if they had questions on each floor. It helps. They ask some interesting questions. Sometimes we can't answer, but we say we'll try to find out for you.
We've had some changes in staffing over the past few weeks. We terminated Mitchell. Mitchell started under Emily in July and had repeated performance reviews that just weren't great. So we reached the point of terminating him and then bringing Lily on board. Lily's volunteered with us for a number of years and works at Oliver House in South Bend as well. And she's just been here a couple weeks, but she's already doing really great.
Yes.
Welcome, Lily.
Is she still working? Are you still working at Oliver House too? Oh, okay.
The director job was posted on Indeed just a few days ago. All applications need to go through Indeed now. That's a new city policy. So if you know someone who wants to apply, you can just tell them to go to Indeed.com and search Barker Mansion. It's going to close the day after Thanksgiving, so the 29th, and then at that time, we'll go in with a password and I'll be able to send the board all of the applicants that have applied.
Wonderful.
And you'll be able to go through them. So that's a process you all need to decide on as to how you're going to do that. Last time, if you remember, you all reviewed them and you picked your top 5. You had 4 people in common out of those top 5, so you interviewed 4 of them. So,
Can the
For you.
deadline be extended if we're not happy with the applications thus far?
it can, but then you would need to pay for that because the city is paying for that Indeed
Okay.
real estate
Okay.
right now.
We have no idea what the response has been so far.
So as of this morning, I peeked in and you have 32 who've
Holy moly.
applied. Yeah.
For just this job, not, because last year the last time we got someone wanted to be a forklift driver for the city and we got those applications too.
Just specifically for this job, you've had
Okay,
32.
good, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So you'll need to decide on what you want to do with those resumes once you get them. And if you do have candidates you want to interview, then you'll decide how and when you're going to do that. Something I want to bring up right now is not on the agenda, but I know there's been a lot of confusion over the past couple days about the interim director job, the director job, who should have that interim role, what's going on. As I've expressed, I'm pretty maxed out. I'm working 12-hour days every day and trying to do all my family life as well, and it's not ideal. This is month 4 already. So there's been talk of TJ taking that role, TJ the director role. There's just
Be the full-
confusion. So I just want to bring that out in the open so we're all on the same page and we can talk about it together rather than side conversations.
Jessica, have you set a date that you want to leave, or just it's open-ended right now?
It's open-ended because I don't want to leave this place hanging. I love the residents of Michigan City. I'm loyal to the staff, so I'm not going to pull out until it's in capable hands. And TJ, what did you want to say something?
Because Susan and Alex asked me about taking over the interim role because they wanted to communicate with someone who's here full-time, but Jessica and I talked about it more, and the interim role actually is less hours than I currently work, so that wouldn't be feasible. So I would like, though, to communicate with the Welfare Foundation about the projects that we are working on, but me taking the interim role wouldn't be feasible, though, for that. So
Even a full-time interim?
as you said, the city, though, interim positions are not full-time.
The interim role is 20 hours a week, which I'm currently fulfilling 20 hours a week, and it can't go more. That's just the way that it was
Okay.
set up. So what TJ is saying is if he took that role, he'd only be here half as much as he is now. And he's already working 40 hours a week, and probably then some.
Yeah, we're
that
25
aren't-
hours a week at another job, so.
Yeah.
Well, what's the technicality to get around that technicality? Is there another kind of title that we could name TJ to that would entail a 40-hour week?
Temporary director?
Well, part of
Well,
it
I
was.
mean, you can work 40 hours a week in your current assistant director role as he is.
Part of it was just
Yeah.
we're understaffed, and if I took the interim role, we could hire another person that's full-time for now in my role.
I guess a concern with many people is who's the go-to person? And is it the interim director or is it the assistant director? I mean, we need an official recognition of who that person is. And I assume that it would be assistant director.
So what Jessica and I had worked out originally with this was Jessica was more of the. We went over this, I think, in it was the August board meeting. That Jessica's kind of big picture, so she communicates with the Welfare Foundation, sort of the top-down stuff, and I make sure that day-to-day receipts and invoices are paid, staff take care of the staffing. So I'm kind of managing day-to-day operations here. So it's kind of we basically split the director's job between Jessica and I.
But if there's some way we could increase your hours as the assistant director, pulling you with less, but I don't know with all the city, there are hurdles of these names.
Question, TJ, from your perspective, if there wasn't an interim director and you continued on in the capacity you are, would that be feasible to keep the place going? You do on the ground stuff. I mean, that's not any way taking away from what Jessica's doing, but what's your opinion?
So like my day right now is filled with, I'm doing our marketing, I'm managing ticket sales, I'm doing most of the back end financial work for the city, I'm making the staff calendars, I'm letting the staff and volunteers know what to do, and because I'm doing the work kind of assistant director, but I'm also fulfilling the role of what used to be our part-time heritage interpreter position, because we need someone to be able to give tours every day, someone to help out with tours and design programming, and I've also committed myself to designing a full year of programming that I had designed, I had come up with 6 months ago, not expecting to be in this position, and because we only have half the staff that we normally have. And the entire time I've worked here, we've had 6 to 7 staff members, and currently it's 3 plus Jessica who's here on a limited basis. So part of the idea of interim director would have been that you could hire another person, and I then take over some of the some of the bigger picture things, and then that way we can accomplish things. Because I really would like to accomplish what the foundation wants to take care of. I really want to take care of this inventory, but would be difficult adding it to currently what I'm already taking care of here. And just the interim director will allow me to delegate more of that.
And December is almost our busiest
Yeah.
Yes.
month.
So what about if we added, can you also fulfill the role of heritage interpreter and have a dual role and get compensated appropriately?
The city won't let me work more than 40 hours a week.
Okay.
I currently do about 50 hours a week here, and they owe me a backlog of tons of extra hours. So that's something that is it's really just a matter of assigning different responsibilities to me, and then being able to have more staff here until we sort out having a new executive director.
Is there money in the budget to add staff?
No.
Yeah.
The staff budget is like down to the dollar. We have worked out what everyone can work for the rest of the year, because
And when's the rest of the year end?
the 30, then
It's not July 1st to July 1st then? No, okay.
it's December 31st. So January 1st will be fine. We can hire more staff. We can get this how it should be, but we have it calculated down to the dollar an hour how much people can be here.
And we're already going to be understaffed in December. There's a lot of days I was going to be reaching out to volunteers, because we have a lot of weekends where I'm the only person here.
Yeah.
So it is going to be very tight. So part of it was also just moving me to a different role to open up that space in the city budget. So that's kind of where it's at right now.
I think the answer appears to be rallying the volunteers to help out even more than they have in the past.
Yeah.
More responsibility.
Currently, though, we've been having 4 times as many volunteer hours as we've had. I mean, the entire time I'm here, it's been 60 hours a month typically, but right now, last month we had 190 hours. In August, we had 280 hours, which is really, half of that was the board. So it has been great, though, having a lot more volunteers here. So maybe that also is
It
another.
sounds like you need volunteers on the weekend.
Yeah, especially on the weekends in December.
During the holidays, that gets tougher for everyone else.
Yes.
As far as volunteering.
But things will slow down quite a bit, though, January through March.
Oh, yeah. I know.
It's very quiet during then. So.
Well, I think if Jessica's willing to continue, then perhaps keeping it the status quo for the time being is, until we get through the application process, might be the best way.
Jessica?
I really would prefer to step down as soon as possible, because this has lasted much longer than expected. Like I said, my family life is really suffering. So we need to look through those resumes.
Quickly.
Right.
Black Friday, right?
Is that the deadline?
Yeah.
But I do realize that a start date is going to be hard if the right candidate is in that bank of resumes with the holidays, Christmas, New Year's.
It's a
And
challenging
travel.
schedule.
I'll be out of town the beginning of January when a new director would start, and a lot of the training will be coming from me, because I'll need to show them how to use the city system and kind of our day-to-day operations here. So,
How long will you be out of town?
well, I'm going to be out of town till the December 30th to January 23rd. I'm going to be looking for an apartment in Singapore.
Okay.
So that is something we had talked about. I had planned a while ago.
Right.
So TJ, just to clarify, you're out the whole month of January?
Pretty much.
Okay.
I had some plans, and there were some projects I want to work on for the mansion while I'm gone, though. I'm planning to make an interpretive guidebook for staff training in the future and a few other projects, but I will be gone for about 3 weeks. So I'm leaving, though, at times we are closed for, I think, December 30th, 31st through the January 2nd or 3rd. Basically, it's just, it's New Year's plus closings on Mondays and Sundays.
So when are you back?
The 23rd.
Oh, I think so,
Yeah.
31st.
Yeah, we have an event. We do have a big program on the 25th, though. We have Bootlegging at Barker's coming back. We had a couple years ago in March 2017. We had the we hosted with Dig the Dunes, where we had the different restaurants had historical cocktails in all the rooms of the house, and we had 200 people out for that last time. And I think we're going to expect about a similar crowd though this time. So, but I'm also going to be working with them through email while I'm gone for that project, because we're using the liquor license from McGinnis next door for that.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, back.
Sorry.
Yes, you need to let us know.
Back to the
What you
staff.
need to do.
I think that's what she's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
there's not a good solution right now from my perspective.
Well, I think we just have to go through the review process as quickly as possible so that, we can find somebody, whoever the selected candidate is, to have them in place so that you can pass the baton.
Is there any money to,
agree.
while you're still here, add another interim so that the smooth transition could happen? I mean, we can name a prospective director or whatever the title would be if we identify someone. Because ideally, they would overlap. That's the ideal situation always. The new person overlaps with the
Well,
existing.
we could name somebody, but the chances of them being available that quickly.
They have to be willing to just do it without.
Yeah, if they're currently employed, then it's not practical for them to, drop everything and
Yeah, you have to
take the job the next day.
You have to see what that looks like when we get there.
Yeah.
Take it on a case-by-case basis, I guess.
You said that the job posting closes on the 29th. Do we need to wait until that time before we start to review applications?
Not necessarily.
No,
I could
I
send the
don't think
first
so.
packet tomorrow, so you could do them 1 week and then 1 week.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
That's
I
an
can
excellent
do that.
idea.
Get started,
Right, we need to-
before the
and
29th.
if we get the new business, let's set up a process. Let's get some dates down. After we get them, where we meet together and decide,
Yeah. I'm
Try-
Do we want to meet once a week as we get those forwarded?
I think
just
that would be a good idea.
briefly, and then weigh in on those that have come in, and then the next week we would do the same.
Okay. Is daytime good for everyone, or should,
Generally speaking, it's fine for me.
Yeah, me too.
okay,
Alex,
I can be available on the phone.
okay.
we need you to be, yeah.
What day is best, if we
Could
could pick,
we do that later, or do we want to identify that now?
well, I was thinking, because we're gonna meet, next week is still Thanksgiving, okay, you got a week after that, but if we could pick a day and a time to have our first meeting, that would be good.
Well, I'm just thinking to take the time for the formal meeting, that's something we could do after the meeting adjourns,
Just pick a day.
rather than all of us getting out our
Okay.
calendar.
But the bottom line, in summary, is you'll send us what we have now, the 32 applicants, and we can all start looking at them.
And
And using that same process that we did before, we'll kind of rank them, so that when we do meet, we can talk about
Yeah.
great
And
candidates.
we will meet the first week after Thanksgiving, someday.
Someday, yeah,
That sounds good.
Makes sense.
good.
Okay. So after all the meetings, we'll meet and pick a day.
Yeah,
Good.
Okay, that's
Excellent.
got the
Thank you.
process.
cool.
That's the most important thing right now. Okay, any other? Okay. Financial report,
I have a printout of the city budget that I will pass around like normal. So you can take a look and let me know if you have specific questions, but we're still doing well. We'll have to make a couple transfers, which I'll do tomorrow morning early. We're out, at the end of every year, we're always over on our NIPSCO and we're always over on our phone, and it's a problem that can't be fixed, so we do a transfer every November.
But we're under in a lot of places,
Yeah.
though.
Okay.
You're under in others.
The nature of the system, so
Yes.
Okay.
no big deal.
But we are tight as far as salaries. I
Yeah,
mean, we're down to the penny there.
Yeah.
There's no, you can't transfer something into the salary booth, but no, I didn't think so. Okay, is there any commission old business? Now, the new business, of course, we just talked about the process, and that's the most important thing. So we'll get the applications, we'll look them over, and before we leave, we'll pick a date and a time to meet here at the mansion and start ranking.
Sounds
And set up interviews if we feel we've got a couple good candidates.
Sure,
Yes,
makes sense.
okay. Any other old or new business that needs to be discussed?
I had one idea, though, regarding, though, the situation with Jessica and I and running this place, too, is if you don't have a suitable applicant, though, in this current batch, I'm willing, though, if you would like me to, I could step into the full role until I move, and then I could be training someone new in March when we have more time. So if that's something you want to think about, too, and then you could put out applications again in the future. That's something I'm willing to do. And I could also delay moving if that's necessary.
As of January 1, you mean?
Yeah, I'm saying, if you don't have someone in this current batch and Jessica still wants to step down, I could step into that role just temporarily.
So that would be okay with you, Jessica, to leave at the end of December and then?
So, and I would just cut. So that's something that's...
Thanks for the offer.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, and certainly we need his expertise and experience to train the newbie.
Do we need a motion for that?
I
probably
don't,
not until you
no, I
see
don't
it
think
back.
so.
Okay.
We'd have to discuss it with the city too, as far as
Definitely.
how to take care of that. Next meeting, December.
Yeah. Well,
The 20th?
Now, we usually, we have a Christmas meeting. I don't know if we want to have a regular meeting
Oh.
or
Well, we've combined them in the past.
Okay.
a working
Yeah.
Yes,
lunch or
luncheon.
something, yes.
do we want to hold something here and then have something brought in?
Well, we will need to be videoed
Oh,
this year, so that's
Yeah,
a
well,
little
we can do
different.
that and then
Adjourn.
adjourn for,
Well, he's mobile. He could,
well, okay, what date?
Okay.
Usually we meet,
The
Third.
Third.
Of the 20th?
Is the is the 21st.
are we getting too close
No,
to
no, I
it?
didn't,
no, no.
I'm sorry.
I don't think so.
I was in November, you're right. It's the 19th?
That's fine for me.
fine for
I
me.
might not be able to. Oh, no, I
Be
can't.
gone.
I'm good. I'm good.
So we'll meet at the mansion and then adjourn.
We could do that.
Did you want hospitality? You want food?
Uh,
I know
Personally,
someone who can arrange it.
Personally, I'd like to have a nice meal out. Doesn't have to be fancy, but it's
But
one opportunity for a social event for the commission.
Do you want to do the room at Patrick's like we have in the past?
Suits me fine.
In the past, I think we've started the meeting at like 11 and then eat lunch after, is that right? Do you want to
do you want to do a 10, make it 10, give us enough time to, because we have both meetings,
10:30 start?
because there might be quite a bit of business if we're, how about 10:30
Okay,
and then lunch,
followed by lunch.
following both meetings.
I know last year we ended up in the main dining room, but that worked okay. Last year we didn't get the back room, we
Yes.
ended up in the main dining
Did
room.
we?
Because of
Yeah.
Rotary was in
Okay.
there.
Yeah,
That's
but
right.
Well,
that
that's-
worked out okay.
Well, wait, we'll check. We'll
Yeah.
check. It would be maybe nice to have the back room. We'll
So
check and
is-
see if it's full that day.
Is one of you volunteering to call Patrick?
I'll call Patrick.
Okay, thank you.
As long as no one's under 21. That's the stupidest rule.
It is.
I move we adjourn this meeting.
I can be available on the phone then.
Okay,
Great.
good. Can we set up do we do it with just a cell phone? Or, okay,
That's fine.
okay.
We need a motion.
Move to,
Yeah, but first, we're okay with meeting at Patrick's?
okay, it's my understanding that we were having the official meeting at the Barker and then adjourning.
Oh, I
But
think.
did I get that wrong?
I thought
Why do
we,
we have to move?
I don't know. Because of the,
what do we want to?
I just wanna clarify.
I thought we had the meet, we're going to have the meeting in Patrick's at 10:30 and then break for lunch.
Segue to lunch, that's,
okay,
Sounds-
clarification, good.
Can you meet at Patrick's at 10:30? Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn?
so moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Second.
Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye.